Hey guys, it is Eli. I'm from Eli.Designs on Instagram, and today I will be teaching you how to do a retouch on Photoshop CC. And so first you're going to need your picture. I'm going to do JJ Watt. As you can see right here, this is what I did, and these are all the layers. It does take about 15 minutes, maybe 10 if you know what you're doing. If you really want to get a good result, then I suggest spending about 20 to 30 minutes just on the retouch and getting the lighting right. And so I am going to open up the picture. The picture will be down in the description as long with any other effects I use. And so I am going to open up my JJ Watt picture, which is this one right here. Let's just go ahead. Is it not going to open? Open. Open. Please open. There we go. The picture is open. Now we're going to click OK. We're going to double tap on the picture, the layer, so we can now edit it. And so what we're going to do now is we are just going to use a quick selection tool. Do not create a new layer unless that's the way you mask. But the way I mask, I'm just going to do a quick little masking because I've already done this twice or 3 times because one video failed. It just had a really annoying sound in the background. And so I'm just going to mask around the player. I'm sorry if my mouse is really loud. I'm kind of trying to fix that right now, but I'm just gonna mask around the player really quick. And if I were you guys doing your retouch, I would actually spend my time on it because this will be the retouch that you post on Instagram, I presume. Well, I assume. And if it's not, and this is just a past practice, then I guess you can kind of just speed through it. But I would suggest that you do take your time, as they do look really, really nice if you have spent your time on it. Make sure you get every part of the picture. If you're a pro at masking, you probably don't even need me to guide you through this. And I highly doubt that I do need to guide you through this. I am just going to walk you through it anyways for anybody who is new to Photoshop. Anyway, so I'm gonna, and by the way guys, this is the way I mask for all my edits. I just select the player and then I layer via copy the selection. And so now if you look up here, it is really rough, and so what I am going to do is I am going to refine the edge with right here, refine the edge, and I'm going to smooth it out, and I will be erasing that area over there. There we go. That's how I like my smoothing, like that. I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna lower down my brush size of it, and I'm gonna probably leave it at that. I'm just gonna finish masking, and there we go. Let's see if we can get that back. There we go. So we have just about finished masking, and I am just gonna might want to remask these, and I'm gonna layer via copy. And so now we have our cutout, and I am gonna go with my eraser tool just over the areas, small areas that we missed with our cutout. I don't really see any other areas besides right in here. Right there, and also right there. Oh, up and up here as well. Alright, so now that we have our cutout, what we are going to do is we are going to make a new layer in between this, in between our mask and our original image. We're going to color it black, and we are going to bring the opacity down to 50. Not to 50, never mind, 25. 25 is the right opacity, leave it at that. Then what we are going to do is we are going to duplicate. We're not going to duplicate, we're going to take our layer 1, we're going to go to filter, camera, raw filter, and we're going to mess around with these settings until you get somewhat what you like. I like to lower my exposure down, then high up my contrast, and then I'll take my highlights, higher up my highlights. Shadows, I'll lower them, and my whites, I'll upgrade my whites just a bit. Clarity, I don't use clarity that high because it does not look good that high. So I'm going to leave it around 14 and then click OK. So now I'm going to duplicate this layer that I just edited, and I'm going to go to filter, and you guys will need topaz adjust for this, and if you do not have topaz adjust, I will leave the key for it in the description and the link to the topaz website. And so I'm going to hit OK after I just added dynamic pop to it, and I'm going to lower the opacity down to just about 27, and that's what I do for all of mine, because 27 looks the best to me. So I'm going to leave it at 27. And then I am going to also, I think I may, yep, there we go. So I am going to leave it at 27. And just to make sure what I did next, to make sure I'm going in the right direction, I'm going to we're going to duplicate our bottom layer, our original background, and we're going to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and about 5.1, just to blur the background out a little bit so all the focus is on JJ Watt. So now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our original mask, drag it in front of our dynamic pop mask, and we're going to go to filter. Actually, no, we're not going to go to filter. We're going to go to image, adjustments, exposure, and we're going to lower our exposure down until the point where it's dark. And you can see all the spots I missed, and that's alright, because I will be going back and fixing these if this was for real. Like if I was for real doing it and I was gonna post this. And so now we have exposure negative 3.2, and that's what I tend to like it on. And so now what we're gonna do after we have our exposure layer down is that we are going to go to our brush, our eraser, and we are going to erase the area where the light highlights. And I like to have my eraser on about 100. 99 will do if I got 100, and my hardness on 0. And so now what I do is I erase everywhere that the light will touch him. So the light's going to touch him up here. I'm going to erase that, and the light's coming from the left side, as I can tell by his helmet. And so I'm going to sort of go, and there's going to be a little bit of a glow on this side too. So sorry, I just ate some food. And I'm going to go to the left side, and this is where most of the erasing is going to happen, on the left side, sort of on the left side of the face area, around the shoulder pad, on the arm, and basically I'm just going to fix the lighting. So I'm going to go like this. There we go, I like that. This is looking good so far. We might want to just erase a tad bit down here. Maybe some right here, maybe a little bit on his arms, and we will be adding lights and darks later on. I'm gonna sort of erase his face right here, just a bit. So I might leave this, and I'll add more shadows in later. And so that looks good for right now. And so now what? Actually, no, it doesn't. I gotta fix some more stuff. Oh no. Maybe go like this. And then what I like to do is I like to take the blur tool and blur out where the black still is, just where its first part is, like where it starts, and that way that it looks more natural and not as if it's just sitting there and it was just added. I like to make it look more natural and as if it was actually there. And what I do is I just play around with the opacity to see if it's something I like, but do not make it too light. I like to leave it around 80s, high 80s, maybe low 80s depending on the picture. And so what I'll do is I'll leave it like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer, put the layer blend mode on soft light, lower the opacity to 50. I'm going to take the brush, and it is on black, so I am going to leave it on black, and this is where I'm going to highlight the shadows. And I'm going to add a little bit of shadow to his face, a little bit to his underarms around here, and I am going to add some to his jersey. Now that I'm adding this to his jersey, I just click randomly around just to see what looks best. I am going to add some to his helmet right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm create a new layer and do the exact same thing, but this time with white, and this time it's going to be the highlights. So 50, change the color to white, take my brush tool, and I am going to just highlight. See how it sort of gives it that glow? And I'm going to do this on the jersey just a tad bit, and make it like this. Gonna highlight his face just a bit more, highlight over here, highlight his glove, and maybe just a tad bit on his arm over here. Maybe just lower down that. And this also will get rid of the black underneath it. So if you find a spot that you just like to kind of get rid of, then you can go ahead and just use the white. So now that we've kind of done the whites, and you guys can spend more time on this if you'd like, but I'm sort of just going through it for the sake of the tutorial. And I'm actually going to go on my black layer again and kind of select the face and just see what I can do. So I'm going to take the blur tool on the black layer again, and I'm going to blur out where it just starts. Alright, so now I'm going to go to my next layer, and my next layer is going to be a gradient map, and you're going to leave it just as the settings are right now. Make sure it's a black to white gradient. Close out of there, and I'm going to leave it on overlay with about 72%. 72. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this lighting effect that I will leave in the description. I'll probably upload it through Google Docs. And so that's what it should look like right now. I know it does not look the best. As you can spend more time on it, correct what I have done wrong. And I'm just going to go ahead and maybe fix some things. Maybe fix some things that I find that I don't really like anymore. And I'm going to correct some of it. And here we go, I'm just starting correcting it. And then what I also did to add a bit, and what you should do to sort of add the bit of color, is I go to, I add a photo filter in the adjustment section, and I add sort of a blue. I add normally the opposite color of their jersey, but for this case I'm doing the color of their jersey because it looks better. So I'm going to kind of go with the royal blue, and I'm going to adjust the density to what I like. And I sort of like it at 94. 94 is what I like it at. 93 and 94 have a big difference. This one's 93, this one's 94. And I really like it at 94. And so if you want to add the text like I have on my Marcus Mariota one, and then what I do is I go to Grow Bold, I get Grow Bold regular, and I have it centered, and I'm just going to type a random text. I'm going to create it white. I'm going to make it Texans. As you can tell, capitals and lower cases are different. Sorry, I just ate, so I might have some burps in the middle. Texans, just do it. Dot. Oh, there we go. And I am going to bring that right by JJ Watt. And I'm going to add the effect to overlay, because now I can move it wherever, and it's going to overlay with the layers behind it. You may actually want to drag it behind JJ Watt, so like you can like barely have it just peeking out like that. That looks cool like that. Or you can have it in front and have it like that, which I think is actually really cool. And I'm going to go ahead and add a drop shadow to it just to make it look a bit cooler. Maybe like that. And so then you're going to add your watermark. I tend to have my watermark on Grow Bold. Oh wait, I need to create a new text. There we go. And I'm going to have it on Grow Bold italic italic, and I'm going to put Eli Designs, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on overlay. And for my retouches, I go ahead and I put it on the person, and so like that. And so there you go. That's just about it, and I'm just going to make sure that I didn't miss anything. No, I did not. And so that is it for this tutorial on how to do a retouch. If you did enjoy, make sure you thumbs up the video, and make sure you follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I'm Eli Designs. Thank you guys for 800 followers. I can't thank you guys enough, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, and if any of you guys have questions or complaints or things that I can do better, or also things that you need help with, comment them down below and I will make sure to get them to you. And also you can kick me on at ecoop732 and I will reply to that and also try to help your problem.